At least, right?
I need to host a podcast because that transition, genius. Audience and business model. So this episode we're gonna go through the 5 known, tried, and true business models.
Difficult. I think it's a very difficult model to make profitable.
A potential downside. You want to get to the bag. I don't know about y'all, but this podcast is about the future. So
Shake.
I hope we got that. We got that? Well, that's fabulous. Thanks, Sinclair. All right, beautiful people. Welcome back to the M4 Show, Married Melanated Millionaires in the Making.
Whoa.
What? Remix that. Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making. There you go. This is your first time tapping into the show. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show. King, where can I go to stay connected with us?
Y'all can stay tapped into the show at them4show.com. That's them4show.com. And you can follow us on Instagram at them4show.
Now, let's get into the episode.
This episode, we really want to help take some businesses to the next level, right? So in the M4 Show, we're definitely trying to help you all, help ourselves, everyone watching, get to that $1 million net worth or $1 million business. But before you get to the $1 million business, you gotta get to the 6-figure business. And 2 things, that's how we do it. That's what the cool kids do, 6 figures.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and
So
she's cool at times. 6 figures. But 2 things that you really want to focus on when getting to the 6 figures: audience and business model. So this episode we're gonna go through the 5 known, tried, and true business models, and hopefully y'all can make a selection and move forward. This is your first time. My name is De'Von creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, co-host of the M4 Show with my beautiful, my smiling, my golden queen herself, sprinkled in spice. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd, and co-host of the M4 Show, Director of Operations and Logistics for Play Live Wall Street, real estate investor.
Ooh.
I wear many hats.
Ooh. Health enthusiast.
Health enthusiast, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner.
Choreographer. Ooh.
What can she do?
Wife. Almost professional chef. All right, we're going to stop hyping her up. We done. We keep it going. But short intro, just so y'all know, we're not just 2 random people talking about business. So we started our first business right after graduating from college in 2016. It was called True Health Forever at that time. We had 4 pillars of health: social health, physical health, economic health, and spiritual health. And our first product that we created was Black Wall Street, the board game, to support, boom, right there, thank you, Queen, to support the economic health of our community. We've made a lot of mistakes throughout the journey, the first of which being the branding misalignment of True Health Forever and Black Wall Street, the board game. We've since changed the branding to Play Black Wall Street. We've since changed business models, and doing those small changes, we've been able to grow a 6-figure business. So what we want to do is kind of go through the different business models, the pros and cons of each business model, and talk through these lessons to help you get to a 6-figure and eventually 7-figure business. Queen, are you ready?
I am ready. And just so y'all can understand why this is a really important thing to talk about, because I think and we think that switch from business models is the reason why we were able to make a 6-figure business relatively quickly. That switch, the next year, business boomed. So stick around, definitely learn from us and our mistakes, but also just our journey, right, and our evolution, because choosing the right business model, or even the evolution of your business models, because it's not always about right or wrong, it's what's right for you at the time and how you make that shift. So definitely excited to get into it.
Indeed. You caught me mid.
I'm sorry, I can keep talking if you like.
Mid-sip.
You had all that time to be sipping.
And if you're wondering, this is coffee from the Black Coffee Company. They get their beans from melanated places all around the world. This particular roast is from
Kenya.
So shout out to the Black Coffee Company. Y'all are not sponsors, but we met y'all at InvestFest. Love the coffee, and we've been sipping ever since. Much appreciated.
Mind you, we don't even have a coffee maker. I want to make that clear. So anytime we're making coffee, I'm doing it the very old school way in a pot.
Like
I
Two
boil the
Chainz.
water. I add the coffee. I got to strain it out. I'm using like 2 different pots. I'm going back and forth, but it doesn't matter because the coffee's delicious and it's worth it. And we have so many bags
We
of
have
coffee.
so many bags. I went crazy. But let's hop into it, y'all. And at any point, if you have questions, leave a question or comment below. I want to start off with talking about business goals, right? When you set up your enterprise, your LLC, your corporation, sole proprietor, nonprofit, whatever it is, you set it up for particular goals. And for me, there's 3 economic goals out there. There's 1, you want to get to the bag, right? You're not necessarily worried about making an impact. You're not necessarily worried about brand alignment. You're just like, how can I make as much money as possible, possibly passively? So these are people that are on Amazon selling pencils. They're selling whiteboards, pillows, like not necessarily things that are making huge impacts on people's lives, but everybody needs them. They're buying at a high volume, and you can make a lot of money selling pencils, erasers, and pens online, right? So number 1 goal is pure profit. Number 2 goal, complete opposite side of that, is you want to make a positive impact on society. So these are people that maybe start foster homes. These are people that start soup kitchens. They want to give back. These are people that have clothing companies that are donating to people that need clothes, right? They have essential basic needs packages that they're donating to people. You're just trying to spread love and impact to the community, not worried about money, right? You have probably a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And then the last one, Queen, is kind of where we sit and where we try to impact, right? So can you talk about where Play Black Wall Street sits and where companies like Play Black Wall Street sit?
So we're right in the intersection of both of those, right? We are definitely here to make social change. Like that is, we are community focused. That's always been at the heart of what we do, but we're also trying to make money, right? Yes, we are also trying to reach financial freedom for ourselves, for our families, for generations to come, and help other people do the same thing. So we do feel like both are important, and we're right at the kind of intersection of, you know, wanting to make money and making social impact at the same time. We do believe you can do both. So that's kind of where we nestled ourselves.
Agreed. And I just wanted to go over that because as we go into the business models, no matter where you are, whether you're trying to make the most money possible, you're trying to make the most impact possible, or you're trying to do a bit of both, you still need a successful, clear business model and a clear audience. So even if you're listening, you're like, this is not for me, I want to do a nonprofit. No. As a nonprofit, you still need a business model. Where are the grants coming from? Where's the funding coming from? Where's the revenue that's going to come so that you can continue to make the impact? If you're like, I'm just about the bag. Cool, you can be about the bag. You still need a clear and successful business model to work through. So go ahead and put inside the comments right now, which of the 3 goals is aligned with your business right now? Money, bag, only impact, or a bit of both? Go ahead and let us know. Now, hopping into it, Queen, 5 business models, all right? We're gonna start off, they're in no particular order. None of these are inherently the best, although I have a favorite. You have a favorite? We have favorites, but any of these can work. Number 1 is a business to customer model.
B2C.
B2C. All right, we'll have a nice little animation right here. B2C. That is where you as a business, your primary customer are other individual customers or individual people or even families, right? So you're going to the Black Coffee Company, perfect example. You go to blackcoffeecompany.com, again, not a sponsor, but we love y'all. And you are a customer going on that website, purchasing their coffee, they send it to you, business to customer. Playblackwallstreet.com. You go to playblackwallstreet.com, you get yourself a game, some flashcards, a book, some t-shirts, business to customer. Benefit of business to customer, I think it's direct to consumer. You can get that feedback right away from them. You know who you're serving. You can see all their names, right? You know exactly who's ordering your games or who's ordering your coffee. A potential downside, right? Potential downside, there's pros and cons to everything. Everything has 2 coins or 2 sides to a coin, is scalability. can be difficult, right? If every time you're selling a board game, it's to one family, it's to one person, that's a lot of effort for that one customer over time. So it can be difficult to scale that to 6 figures, depending on what your product or service is. Go ahead, Queen. Anything you want to?
Yeah, and I think it does, like you said, depending on your product or service, right? If you're selling one thing, but it costs $1,000, then that marketing or that effort you're putting in, I think will pay off a little bit more versus, we're selling a $40 board game or a $10 book. So all of the marketing and effort to make one $10 sale or one $40 sale, the scalability is definitely a factor. But you do get to see that direct feedback, right? It is nice when we're tabling. That's kind of, I think, in my opinion, the most B2C interactions that we have, because we're there as a vendor, at these different events, and we're selling directly to these people and literally handing it to them, right? Again, business to customer, and being able to see I'm so excited to play this, right? So it is very nice to be able to see the impact, see the excitement from the customer. But yes, we're only able to kind of see that reaction from that one customer, and then I'm gonna have to do this whole spiel again to whoever
literally
comes
on
afterwards.
rotation, that script just 11 times during the Black College Expo or Invest Fest, almost the exact same script. But yeah, I do like that direct customer experience. And you had a good point in there where you were saying, if your price point is higher, right? If you're selling really valuable stuff, you're selling Rolexes, you're selling engagement rings, you're selling one-on-one coaching or marriage counseling, and your price point is higher, business to customer could be really good. Maybe you only need 50 solid customers because you're charging $10,000 for your product or for your service. So that's something to keep in mind. Like, what are you selling? What is the product? What is the service? And which business model is going to line up directly with your business goals?
Yep.
You ready for number 2?
Yes.
All right. So a little bit of background. We started in 2016, 2027, 2028, all the way up to probably 2019 as a business.
You just said 2027 and 2028.
We're in the future. I don't know about y'all, but this podcast is about the future. So I don't know when you're watching this. So 2017, thank you, Queen. 2017, 2018, 2019, we were primarily a business to customer model. We were selling our board games directly to homeschooling Black families with 2 to 3 kids, ages 8 and up, right? That was our specific audience, our niche audience. But 2020, 2021 was when we really started to make that shift, and that was during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? During that time, school districts, specifically LAUSD, reached out and they're like, hey, we want to buy some board games to help increase engagement for our families. We want to buy some Rose and Rodney books to help increase and give gifts for our elementary school students. Oh, actually, do y'all do any online academies or stuff that we can do during the summer? And for the first time, for a consistent period of time, a school district was now our customer. And we shifted from a business to customer to a business to business model. All right. So in a business to business model, your primary customer is another business, organization, school, association, fraternity, sorority. Like, you're doing business with the entire organization. And a pro there is it's still a semi one-on-one relationship with the economic decision maker, right? With the person who's making the purchase. The procurement office is still that one-to-one engagement, but that one-on-one sale can get you 100, 200, 300, 1,000 orders with that one interaction. So the scalability for us, crazy, right? Exponential scalability. However, I think one downside that I'll talk about, and I know, Queen, you have a different one, is you don't get that direct customer feedback. Right. So we might sell 400 games to a school district, and then the games are just sent out. We just have one interaction. We don't get to see each person enjoy that game. We don't get to meet those 400 people. We don't know those 400 people's name, email, where they live. Like, we don't get that data as a company to be able to retarget them. So plus is you get sales a little bit quicker with the same amount of effort. Downside is you get a little bit less data and interaction with your community. But the Queen's on the other side of things. Go ahead. Yes.
So being the kind of logistics person and operations person in the background, I will say the biggest pro is the wow, what is the word I'm looking for? Price margin. Thank you.
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Thank you very much.
We're in the future and we're ortho-telepathic.
Ortho-telepathic. What he said. Yep. So, right, with this one business transaction, right, us to a school district or to an organization, whether we're selling a service, whether we're selling our program, or whether we're selling multiple board games, we've now gone from, a $40, $10 transaction to thousands of dollars, right, depending on what the service or product is. So that's nice because, yes, you're putting in a lot of work, but the reward when you get that check is like, whew, okay, that was all worth it, right?
Right.
However, there is significantly more work that is put in for that transaction, right, versus a one-on-one. I am putting, again, we're going back to the tabling example, right? Yes, I'm giving a spiel to this customer, but I'm talking for maybe 4 minutes and they're either sold or they're not, right? If they buy it, cool. But that was pretty much all that I put into that interaction. When you're trying to, for example, a school district, specifically because we're talking about, for example, running a program with minors, there's a lot of work put into that transaction. There's a lot of upfront work you have to do to even show that you are an appropriate business for this school district to do business with. So they are expecting insurance policies, right? And you have to have a general liability, professional liability, cyber insurance, sexual molestation insurance.
And it needs to be $1 million.
At least, right? At least for most of these policies, it has to be at least that. So you have to have that. You have to have workers' compensation. You have to have all of your employees' background checked, which means you actually need to set up an account with the DOJ, the Department of Justice. There are all these things just to get a foot in the door to be able to actually run this program.
Right.
So there's a lot more work, a lot more even like investment into the business, right? All of these insurance policies have premiums that you have to pay. So you're investing a lot up front for these programs. You're also, most of these businesses, they pay you after the services have been rendered and not like immediately after. Usually big organizations either have what's called like net 40 or net 45. And that number is how many days after the service is provided you get paid. So net 30 means you will receive the payment 30 days after you're done with the service. Net 45 days. So if we're running a 10-week program, we're fronting all of the payroll, all of the expenses for paying for food, paying for transportation, paying for, again, our mentors to actually be there and run the services.
Yep, all the swag.
All the swag. We are fronting all of that to get the payment after the 10 weeks plus another 45 days. So we're talking about a good 4 months after we start this process before we're getting the check. So you have to be prepared for that, right? You have to have a nice cushion of money to be able to even do this. Otherwise, if you run out of money halfway, you're in trouble. Now you can't actually finish the service and you run the risk of not getting paid at all.
And not being able to get that contract again.
Right. So definitely pros and cons. Again, I would say business to business is probably my favorite business model because
Well, don't say it yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Say it at the end.
Okay,
Hold on.
my
We gotta
bad.
get y'all exposed to the other ones.
Yeah.
Nice little cliffhanger there.
Okay.
But I think business to business forces you to really commit to the business, and you need to really have a legitimate business to be working with these big organizations. Whereas business to customer, you put up a website, you have a PayPal, Stripe, you're good to go. But you're dealing with school districts, you're dealing with large organizations. They're wanting making sure that you are legitimate and you can do the work you said you're going to do.
Going back to just the difference, when we're at these events, as long as you have a card reader, people are like, here, take my money, right? It's very little trust you need.
So much trust.
Right?
We appreciate y'all so much trust.
Because it's of course we're upstanding people. We're never about to do anybody dirty, but there's a lot of people that are, you got Venmo, you got Cash App, you go all you need to do is set up an account where you can receive money. So yes, it's definitely a difference of trust that you need to be able to show that potential customer, whether it's an individual or a business.
Yeah. You ready for number 3? Are y'all ready for number 3? I didn't hear you. All right, cool. There it is. Speaking of this, reminds me of how corny I am in our lit videos and
Bet
how
you are.
I'm talking to them. Is it too corny? Is borderline too corny? All right,
Because you'll be like, all right, now say this. And I'm looking at the classroom, everybody's like,
They don't say nothing.
no, they don't say
Come on, scholars, talk back, talk back.
You'll be like, all right, thanks. Now let's move on.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna stay corny. We'll see. I might try to be a little cooler in the next one.
Okay.
We'll see. All right, business model number 3, freemium. All right, so a lot of y'all are using services for free right now, right? You're probably watching this on YouTube, right? And probably 30 seconds after I say this, there's going to be a YouTube ad that's going to play afterwards. And that's because you have the free version. Another example is Canva, right? We use the free version of Canva. And because we have the free version of Canva, there's certain things that we can't use, certain graphics, we can't remove the background.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. All
I'm
this
like, I
stuff.
love that picture, but it's got the watermark on it.
Yep, terrible. That's why sometimes I'll use Adobe because we pay for Adobe and I can remove the background. And then Simplify, we pay for Simplify so I can remove the background. Canva I'm starting to use really only for our team meeting just because it's already in there.
Yeah.
But side note, those are free templates or free features, free access that you get for those platforms. If you pay the premium, you then get access to more features. You don't need to listen to the ads. You can download video and music from YouTube. You can remove the background from Canva pictures and you get these extra things. That is a freemium business model. They get a lot of people to download or use the service, collect that data by offering stuff for free. And then they monetize, they make money by giving you access to more things for a premium. All right. Benefit, of course, you can probably scale quickly or at least go viral with your app, with your product quicker because it's free. And if it's good, people are going to tell other people, hey, use this free service so you can do X, Y, and Z. Possible bad thing is you don't always convert them over. Right. Anything you want to add to freemium?
Another example that I thought of is health coaching. So there was a client management portal where you could use the portal for your first 10 clients for free. You don't actually start paying until you reach that 10th client. And I was like, that's actually really genius for that type of service because once I'm comfortable, once I start using your client management system, right? I've got my clients all in it. I've got all their information in there. I've got my packages laid out. Once I get to 10 clients, I'm not going to want to start that whole process over. So you pretty much have me sold. Yep. So, just think about, again, from a business owner's point of view, right? If that's a model that would be beneficial to you. Of course, there's pros and cons and risks to every business model, but I think the benefit is if you know you got a good product that is going to hook somebody in if they know it, because the barrier of entry is very low if it's free. All I got to do is sign up. So if you feel solid that you've got a good product and all you got to do is get somebody in, then that can be maybe a good model to start testing out. Of course, yes, you got to test it out just to see how many of these people are actually converting over and figure out some strategic ways to increase that as much as possible, right? Some incentives or things like that. But I think that could be a good one if you feel very confident that with the low barrier of entry, you're going to hook some people into this service or to this product.
Right, and that, I believe the term that they use in the startup community is how sticky is your product, right? So if I'm using Canva and I'm using the free version, how long will I stick around with free before I go somewhere else? Or if I'm using Calendly for free, right? How long will I stick around in the free environment before I change somewhere else? How sticky is it? And then on the other side, once you do convert them, what is their LTV, their lifetime value as a customer, right? So you have your free people and then you have your paid people. And really your paid people are also paying for your free people as well. So if you're calculating it out and once I convert these people, I'll have let's say Netflix, for example. I don't know how much Netflix is because we still use other people's accounts. Appreciate you, family. It's like $20 a month, $30 a month. 40 times 12, $480 per year. You might have it for 10 years. So the LTV of a Netflix customer might be $5,000. So having that in mind, how much can we allow customers to share with other family members to where we're now losing money? I think Netflix did those calculations and they were like, we're
Wait
losing.
a minute.
What is going on? We are losing a lot of money because y'all keep sharing these accounts. We're going to add something in there so that you can't share with as many people. Netflix, we don't appreciate that.
No.
Go ahead and go back to letting us share with at least 10 people. Come on, we have a big family. But people are still stuck around because Netflix is very sticky.
Yes.
There's shows that are only on Netflix. There's movies that are only on Netflix. And if you don't have that account, you miss out on that content. Love is Blind is a perfect example.
We are not missing out on that content.
No, we are not. We were like, can you send us the code?
Please.
I'm traveling.
Mind you, yeah, this was at like super late at night. I'm like, please help. SOS.
SOS, send the code. Hey, if y'all sharing Netflix accounts, let us know inside the comments. Who's sharing Netflix accounts with at least 2 or 3 other people? We appreciate it. But that's freemium, all right? Anything else on freemium? It'd be great if Netflix had a freemium option.
Really?
That would be really good. Netflix, talk to us. Number 4, we got 2 more left for y'all. Number 4 is the subscription model. Perfect segue from Netflix, all right? So subscription is you're paying a fee every single month, every single year for access to digital or in-person products or digital or in-person services. So again, Netflix, you pay your $30 a month, your $40 a month, and you get access to those TV shows, those movies. They did have a really cool interactive movie that we just watched on Netflix too, which was fun.
Choose Love.
Yeah, Choose Love. Shout out to Netflix for that. What's another example? HelloFresh, right? You can pay your $40 a month, and every single month you'll get your nice, fresh, organic groceries that you can then cook up.
Instacart.
DoorDash.
I am a fan of Instacart, let me tell you.
Yeah, Sticky.
Sticky. Sticky icky.
Oh, goodness. But that's a really good business model if you want to get consistent cash flow from your audience and from your customers. A potential downside to that is if people aren't using the service, they're going to cancel it, right? So you need to make sure your service is as sticky as possible, as valuable as possible, and is ingrained into that person's lifestyle, right? For us, Instacart has been so sticky because we're busy entrepreneurs, we're traveling, we're moving. We don't always have the time or the patience to go grocery shopping for 2 hours. Plus, when I go grocery shopping, I get lost. And if I go to Costco, I'm buying a whole bunch of random stuff and I'm spending more money than I need to spend. So
you are no longer allowed to go to Costco alone.
It's bad. I'll just come back with random stuff that we did not need at all. But Instacart saves me from that to where we can just go grocery shopping. It comes to us, save the time. We got exactly what we needed, and we were still able to record a podcast, make phone calls, make sales calls, whatever it is. So for our lifestyle, it works. So for subscription, you got to make sure your product or service works for that particular lifestyle. Queen, anything you want to add to that one?
I think subscription can be really good if you know you've got a product that is a repeat purchase. So like I think if it's something that like, I'm only going to buy this once, I only need to buy this once, I don't know that a subscription model is going to work. A couch. That doesn't, like, furniture does not need to be on a subscription basis unless you're renting the furniture. But if I'm buying the furniture, there's no subscription necessary because I only need to buy this once, right? But again, if I'm renting this furniture, if I'm having Airbnb or something like that and I just want to rent the furniture, now we're moving into the subscription model. Things like supplements, right? We've got supplements on subscription as well.
Who's we? Who's we, Sinclair?
Look, vitamin C supplement comes every month. Because I'm
does.
like, why am I going to every month be like, oh no, we ran out, let me go on there. No, just subscription. We've got electrolytes on subscription, Organifi, like these things that it's like to maintain our healthy lifestyle, we like to keep these things in the house. So rather than me having to stress about, oh, are we going to run out of this? Do we have it? Subscription. Like, yes, I'm paying a little bit, actually usually paying a little bit less, right? That's the benefit of subscription too, is you want to make it, what benefit of this is this to having this person sign up to have their credit card charged every single month. And usually it's that you're paying a little bit less. So for someone like me, again, where I know I'm going to be buying this over and over, it makes sense for me to sign up for the subscription because it takes the headache out of me remembering to go buy it. And I also save a couple of bucks.
Oh, yeah. You know, I think the stickiest subscription I may have ever experienced is Amazon Prime. Because
Man.
it comes with so much.
It does.
So you get Amazon Prime. Of course, you get the free 2-day shipping, which in itself, I think that was probably like the first benefit, automatically worth it, right? Because I think at that time, this was like probably 10 years ago, getting something to your house in like 2 days, 3 days.
Unheard of.
Unheard of.
Right.
Crazy. And now that's become the standard to where.
And now it's like overnight. Do you want this in an hour?
Yeah, do you want this today?
I've
Same
literally had that happen where I ordered it and then an hour later I'm like, this can't be what
This
can't be it. This can't be it.
Sticky.
Crazy.
Right. And then in addition to the amazing teleportation of of your goods, you also get access to Prime TV. So now you get all the movies, you get all the TV shows, all of that. And then now they also have like Prime Healthcare.
Yeah.
Where if you're a Prime member, you can get access to healthcare for really affordable. So there's just so much stuff that comes with this one specific membership. So shout out to, you know, Jeff Bezos, you're doing your thing on the business side. I wish you would do more philanthropic stuff other than going to planets. But your subscription service and your business model, amazing. So think about, for you, how might a subscription be of benefit for your business? Right, just think about it, because I think specifically if you have a very specific niche and you have a product that needs to be used every single month, once a week, and people are ordering often, you might want to consider a membership that comes with a certain access to a product or service at a slight discount, and then maybe even get invited to special events, or it comes with a members only t-shirt or something else that makes it an exclusive experience. All right? Think about that. Queen, ready for the fifth and final business model?
Yes.
Are you ready? Told y'all we're gonna be corny. This is who I am. I'm sorry. But fifth and final one, drum roll please. Bow, user generated. All right. So this is a business model where the value of your product, the value of your service comes from the community and the users themselves. One really great benefit from this is you just need to create the platform.
Right.
You need to create the environment. And if you create a good environment for people and you make it fun, you gamify it, it's going to have a higher virality rate, right? Virality? Virality?
I say virality.
You see virality?
Because you say viral, but don't.
I'll listen to her. Spell and Bee Champion 2000.
False.
No.
Stop.
But a higher virality rate if you have user generated. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Queen. Now the downside of it is, I don't say that might not be a downside. For me, it's not a personal brand thing, right? So I feel like for me, I like building brands that are built around people personally. So that's why user generated not going to be my go-to one. But the other downside is you need to make sure you have good rewards that make people want to actually add to your platform. Whether it's good rewards or they get value from it as well, there needs to be a reciprocation of value, which can be difficult for you. You also need to find a very good way to monetize. And sometimes it can take a while, and you see this a lot with startups like a Facebook, like an Instagram, like a Twitter. It takes them years to get enough people on the platform, enough attention on the platform to then finally be able to monetize that user-generated content. And for a lot of us startup folks, it can be difficult to put up all that upfront money for years before we get a return. Right. Queen, how do you feel about user-generated?
I think it's an interesting business model. I think it's difficult. I think it's a very difficult model to make profitable and make a legit, profitable business. I think the first thing that comes to mind, or the first two businesses that come to mind, are Instagram and TikTok. And so, the benefit of Instagram, I think, if we're talking about the reciprocal relationship, is that you also get to be entertained with other people.
For sure.
That put out their business, their content on Instagram. TikTok, same thing, right? You can spend hours there just being quote unquote entertained or sucked in, as I like to say. But you know, for other, I'm gonna make fun of you a little bit here. For other, you know, businesses like Google, I think they have a user generated aspect to their business, right?
Yes, I have something I want to say after your thing.
Okay. So, for example, like Google, I feel like Google Maps specifically, you know, I feel like people usually use it for the map aspect, but you can also go and see these Google profiles for these businesses, right? If I'm going to a restaurant, I can go and see the reviews for this restaurant. I can go and see pictures of this restaurant. I can go and see tips, order this, order not, order that, you know, all those different things. I think where something like that, I'll say just from personal experience, we've got a level 8 local guide here for Google Maps.
Y'all don't even know you can do that, huh? Y'all don't even know you can be a Google Maps local guide.
He's got like over 100, as I call them stalkers, he calls them followers, that just like to follow his every move and see where he goes and what pictures he's posting. Sounds like a stalker. But there's not a lot of benefits, right, that we have experienced. So I don't know why he's doing it. I'm not mad at it, but I don't know why he's so dedicated to doing it, because we've got like a pair of stocks and that's it. And he gets a little star on his account and he's so excited whenever he gets a new follower. And it's actually really cute, even though I make fun of him. But there's not a lot of benefits to adding to that platform. Google sends me notifications all the time. Like, your post got 6,000 hits. I'm like, and? Are you putting money in my account or not? Otherwise, I'm not adding any more to it, because it hasn't changed my life at all.
Yeah, but and this is not what I want to say about Google, but you can say the same thing about Twitter, same thing about Instagram, same thing about Facebook. Like, people are following you for your lifestyle. They're trying to see what you're doing. And there's no direct benefit from anybody posting on Instagram other than I just shared my experience. Right, like, you can monetize Instagram, just like there might be a way for me to monetize Google, but for a majority of people, they just use it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But what I wanted to say about Google is a internet scraping tool. So it's a user-generated model, just for the fact that anyone has a website, and all the websites are showing up now on Google, and we're all using Google, right? So yes, the Google Maps part is a part of Google's business model, but also just Google period is literally user generated, because it takes everything that people put on the internet and puts it in one place. YouTube, user generated, right? We post this podcast on YouTube. This is a user generated business model where we're able to make profit on the backside, if you like and subscribe. So make sure y'all like and subscribe to the M4 Show page and help us monetize this and get some reciprocation from Google and YouTube. We appreciate it. I need to host a podcast, because that transition, genius.
You should host a podcast. That's crazy. That's
would you host it with me?
Idea. Yeah, why don't we start here?
Right here?
We've got the setup. Why not just do it?
So welcome to the M4 Show, where, but again, Google, I think, from top to bottom, is a user-generated business model, and they've taken a lot of years to get to this, but at this point, it's a multi-billion-dollar company, because everybody's using the internet. A lot of people are using Google, and they're organizing it and making it easy for us to use. So if you are a technology-based company, or you're a company that you can get thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people to use your platform, and I believe in you, you can do it. User-generated is probably going to be where you want to be. That way you can take all these different people as nodes for your company and create value from those individuals and organize that value into a profitable business.
R.I.P. Potluck.
R.I.P. Potluck. We did have a user-generated business that we were trying to get off the ground, but as the Queen already said, it takes a lot of upfront capital that we did not have at the time. That's a whole another podcast episode we'll get into. But yeah, Potluck Community was our little startup that we had a couple years ago. And it was a good lesson.
Yes, indeed.
But those are the 5 tried and true business models: business to customer, business to business, freemium, subscription, and user-generated models. Please go ahead and put which one is your favorite inside the comments below, and which one you are going to dedicate your business to this year. So Queen, I want to get back to the answer you were about to give before. Which business model is your favorite and why?
I would say B2B or business to business, because although it does take a lot of upfront work to be able to build that trust with the with the business and show that you're a reputable company, once you have it set up, it's very easy, because there's not a lot of companies that go through that work, at least in our field that we're in. So like once you get set up and you meet somebody that's like, wow, I love your services. Are you a vendor? Right? In our district, it's like, yeah. And they're like, perfect. Like, let's go.
Smooth.
Because they don't want to even have to walk a business through doing all of that, right? They want to avoid the energy and time and energy of doing that. So the fact that we're already approved, we've already have everything you need, we have our checks and balances in line, it just makes it more, and I think that also shows that we're about our business. Like, we're in LAUSD, we are approved, right? We've got everything you need. I think that just makes it more likely, like, wow, this is now a very easy transaction, right? All I have to do is tell you about our services and how we're set up. And the minute you're like, yeah, I'm like, perfect. Let me just send you the quote and let's get it moving. And then, of course, because I feel like the upfront work, it makes it so much worth it when you're getting, 5, 6 schools set up, signed up for this program. And you know that at the end of this, you're going to get a pretty nice reward in the form of a paycheck to pay for all of the work, all of your employees, and keep your business afloat.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Business, I think, is definitely my favorite when it comes to profitability. But I think my favorite when it comes to day-to-day interactions and providing value is going to be subscription. Because I like the idea of community. And I like the idea of people staying loyal to the business, and every single month I know we have this group of 100 students, or we have this group of 1,000 families who are tapped into Play Black Wall Street. They're getting courses, they're getting access to field trips, or even M4, right? As we grow to have memberships that are available, y'all are getting coaching, y'all are getting traveling experiences, y'all are getting just an amazing value from being a part of our community. So I think, I'm people oriented. So I like the aspect of subscriptions, community, and consistent monthly cash flow.
Yep.
All right. So again, make sure y'all leave a comment below on which one is your favorite. This episode was great. Hopefully y'all got value and can take one step closer to a six-figure business or a 7-figure business in the near future. Make sure, again, y'all like and subscribe. And definitely share this episode with another family, another friend you want to see win. I'm your host, De'Von Travell, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game.
And I'm Sinclair, a.k.a. the Health Nerd.
Make sure y'all secure the marriage. Make sure y'all secure the love. And of course, make sure y'all secure the bag. Peace.